Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida. Proudly produced in partnership with the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission.
The magical migration of swallow-tailed kites is one of the most awe-inspiring stories. These graceful birds, with their striking black and white plumage and deeply forked tails, are known for their incredible journey across vast distances and diverse landscapes. On this episode of Wild Palm Beaches, we'll share this incredible story and show you the amazing conservation and research of the swallow-tailed kite and its critical connection to Palm Beach County, Florida. This is the Wild Palm Beaches. Ecotourism is big business in Palm Beach County. From lions to loggerheads, our resident wildlife population is one of the things that makes the Palm Beaches a special place to visit. Aquatic adventures let you see our majestic sea turtles and tropical fish in living color, while our zoos, wildlife parks and natural areas give you an up-close look at everything from rhinos to alligators. It is here that nature is on full display. It's like nowhere else in the world. High above the forests of the Americas, where the skies stretch endlessly, a stunning spectacle unfolds. A journey that defies imagination and inspires wonder. This is the story of the swallow-tailed kite, one of nature's most elegant and mysterious travelers.
Hi, I'm Ken Meyer, Executive Director and Senior Ecologist at Avian Research and Conservation Institute, a nonprofit in Gainesville, Florida. I fell in love with swallow-tailed kites, at least scientifically, 37 years ago. As the name suggests, they're built, aerodynamically they are built to have lofty flight that they can continue on through the day, rarely perching, rarely stopping to rest, so very efficient flight. As it turns out, when people started studying the genetic history of, particularly with raptors, they found that kites are near the roots of the evolutionary tree. And among the kites, swallowtail kites are thought to be the most primitive. I was interested in raptors, particularly, and wanted to work toward their conservation. I wanted to do good science that would support good management and conservation, that would help the birds. Swallowtails were thought to be declining. They were thought to be relatively small in number, 5,000 or so in the United States. And I thought, yeah, that would be something nice to do as I learned to become a better scientist, to contribute to conservation. It turns out that's what my career became, because that's the mission of Avian Research and Conservation Institute, to do practical science, science geared toward informing effective management and conservation. And it's been extremely gratifying.
Swallow-tailed kites are known for their exceptional flying abilities. During migration, they often form large flocks called kettles, soaring and gliding on thermals. These groups sometimes include hundreds of birds, creating a breathtaking spectacle as they twist and turn in the sky.
The swallowtail kites are perfect flying machines. The gliders that humans have invented all have long, narrow wings. As it turns out, that's a very efficient wing. If you want to glide, if you want to persist at long bouts of flying without a lot of wing flapping, the best kind of wing to have. If you want to migrate long distances without using a lot of energy, it's the best wing to have. Swallowtail kites have long feathers in their wings, and especially, of course, in the tail. Everybody wonders why swallowtail kites have that long forked tail. No one knows for sure, of course, but in general, most people think that it's for steering. It acts as a rudder. But I think it also provides some lift, and that's very helpful to them. So by having that long forked tail, they can turn very, very abruptly. They can turn very tight circles. They can reverse direction very quickly. But they also have very short feet. That probably reduces the drag on this supremely adapted flying machine. Why do airplanes retract their landing gear after they take off? Because it reduces the drag and allows them to climb faster and to fly using less fuel.
The migration of swallow-tailed kites is one of nature's most extraordinary journeys. These stunning black and white raptors with deeply forked tails are renowned for their graceful aerial maneuvers and long-distance travels. Their migration story is a testament to resilience, instinct, and the marvels of avian navigation.
When I first started studying swallowtail kites, people knew they disappeared from the US, but they didn't know where they went, and they didn't know how they got there. I loved all that mystery. And the second thing I loved was the idea of trying to figure it out.
Each year, swallow-tailed kites breed in the southeastern United States, primarily in states like Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Louisiana. During the summer, these birds nest in tall trees near wetlands, forests, and rivers, feeding primarily on insects, small reptiles, and amphibians.
Kites in general tend to be more gregarious, more social, because the prey that they eat requires that they be very vigilant, and they use each other in these social groups to help them find prey. Of all the states in the southeast, most of the swallowtail kites nest in Florida. Maybe 2/3 of the US population occurs in Florida. So we knew a lot about them, others knew a lot about them in Florida. They get here in mid to late February. They start leaving in late June, leave in large numbers by late July and early August, and people could see that by observation around them.
As summer transitions into late August and early September, the kites begin their epic migration to South America, traveling over 5,000 miles. This journey is driven by the need for food and warmer climates, as their prey becomes scarce in North America during winter. The kites gather in communal roosts, sometimes in the thousands, in preparation for their long journey. These roosts are often found in wooded areas near wetlands and serve as staging grounds where the birds feed, rest, and build up fat reserves for the arduous trip ahead.
So by gathering in these large communal roosts, they can get up in the morning and divide up into flocks that drift out over the landscape. And this black and white, highly conspicuous bird is signaling to its conspecifics, birds of the same species, where they are, and by their diving behavior, whether they're catching food. And so groups will break up and coalesce somewhere else, different membership, as the kites are moving over the landscape looking for food. One of the things that we use to track them, to find out where they go, how fast they get there, where they hide out, what habitats they use, is to put some kind of remotely sensed tracking device on them. Whether you have to follow it with an antenna, old VHF radios, simple radio technology. So as tracking devices got more sophisticated, technology advanced, those old-fashioned radio transmitters became devices that could be tracked by satellites or by the cell phone tower system. And as those became more sophisticated, the designers were adding GPS capability, just like we have in our phone or that we use in a car or when we're hiking. Highly accurate, 10 to 15 meters of accuracy, almost anywhere on the surface of the Earth. Incredible advancement, especially when that winds up in a device small enough to be no more than 3% of the weight of a bird. One of the biggest mysteries about swallowtail kites when I started studying them was, where do they wind up for the winter and what are they at risk from in these areas? But also, how do they get there? And in one migration southward, we determined the most likely just with 6 birds now. But the most likely southbound route, it was not through the Caribbean. It was across Cuba, and then over to the Yucatan Peninsula, and then overland down to South America. And it wasn't just to the northern countries in South America. It was actually down to southern Brazil, and even a little farther. We knew this within a matter of months. And even though it was a very, very small sample, the data were extremely reliable because they were telling the truth right there. It was irrefutable.
Their journey is not without challenges. Swallow-tailed kites must cross the Gulf of America, a vast expanse of water with no places to rest. This non-stop flight requires immense endurance and energy. Along the way, they also face threats such as storms, habitat loss, and predators. Despite these dangers, the kite's ability to navigate across continents is astounding, guided by a combination of environmental cues, the Earth's magnetic field, and celestial navigation. After days of continuous flying, swallow-tailed kites reach their wintering grounds in South America, particularly in Brazil, Bolivia, and surrounding regions. Here they find lush rainforests and abundant food to sustain them during the winter months.
One of the most basic and important things that these tracking devices can teach us, how big an area birds require to reproduce, raise a family, and also just to survive. And of course, many species of birds are migratory. In places like Florida, a lot of species are not migratory because conditions are good for them year-round. But swallowtail kites, they're highly migratory. They eat a lot of cold-blooded species. Those prey are not highly available to swallowtails in the wintertime if they stay in the United States. So they don't. They migrate. They go southward.
As spring approaches in the Northern Hemisphere, the kites embark on their return journey back to North America. By mid-March, they begin arriving in their breeding territories, often returning to the same nesting sites year after year. This cycle of migration and return ensures the continuance of their species and sustains their vital role in the ecosystem. Coming up next, more of the amazing conservation efforts helping these birds survive.
Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida. Proudly produced in partnership with the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission.
Swallow-tailed kites are considered a species of special concern due to habitat loss and other human-induced threats. Conservation groups like ARCI are working to protect their nesting sites, preserve wetlands, and promote awareness of their incredible journey. These efforts aim to ensure that future generations can witness the awe-inspiring migration of these majestic birds.
In order to study swallowtail kites, we capture a small number and we put things on them that help us study them one way or another. The simplest example is when you capture a bird, you have to be permitted, I should add. Federal permits, permits from every state you will be working in. You have to demonstrate your experience, your credentials, who taught you, how long you've been doing it, and the kind of equipment you'll be using.
Swallow-tailed kites are one of the most fascinating migratory species. Using satellite tracking, we've been able to uncover the secrets of their routes, stopover points, and the critical habitats they depend on. Thanks to technology, we're learning how to protect these birds and the ecosystems they call home. But beyond the science, there's a magic to their flight that touches the soul. Watching these birds is like witnessing a ballet in the sky, a reminder of nature's beauty and resilience. As we marvel at their journey, we must also take steps to ensure their survival. Habitat loss and climate change threaten the swallow-tailed kite's future, By protecting their homes, we protect a vital piece of our planet's natural heritage.
One of the reasons, many reasons I love swallowtail kites is they remind me that ARCI began because we wanted to address the needs of what a lot of people call forgotten birds, forgotten species. I think the swallowtail kite story encourages us all. They are telling us, the more that we study them, that if we can recover swallowtail kites, reverse a population decline, then we can save all that is so dear to us and that we need to save.
From the forests of the Americas to the Palm Beaches, the swallow-tailed kite's journey is a story of endurance, grace, and connection. A testament to the power of nature and the wonders that inspire us all. Together, we will ensure that future generations can witness the magic of the swallow-tailed kite. Coming up next, we'll catch up with Kylie Ariadne with Palm Beach County Environmental Resources at one of the Palm Beach's beautiful urban natural areas.
Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida. Proudly produced in partnership with the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission.
Hi guys, I'm Kylie Ariadne with Palm Beach County, and we are here at Delray Oaks Natural Area. This is a scenic and beautiful natural area at any time of the year, all thanks to this gorgeous hardwood hammock canopy above us. That helps control the temperature and keep it cooler even during the hot summer months. This natural area is perfect for any photographer or artist wanting to spend hours under the canopy waiting and looking for that perfect scenic shot. This live oak canopy is full of Spanish moss. This special bromeliad and epiphyte growing on these tree limbs is self-sufficient, taking in all the nutrients from the air around it. Delray Oaks is a shaded oasis in the center of Delray Beach. You should always be able to come here to take a walk no matter the time of year. Photographers, this place really is a gem for you, especially if you love birds. In the fall and spring, migratory birds love to use this oak canopy as a refuge and a place to rest. Delray Oaks, like so many of our other natural areas, have paved ADA sidewalks if sandy trails aren't really your thing. It's easy to get out in nature here and a lot of our other natural areas too. These small urban natural areas are a big part of the wild Palm Beaches.
Coming up next, we'll meet an African artist that will amaze you with his sculptures created at the Palm Beach Zoo.
Wild Palm Beaches is brought to you by Discover the Palm Beaches, the best way to experience Florida. Proudly produced in partnership with the Palm Beach County Film and Television Commission.
I'm Brighton Tendai, and this is The Art of Nature. This artwork is done on a stone called springstone. It's one of the hard stones which can survive outside and inside. And all these colors you see, these are natural colors of this stone. So this one is a collection of a big five. These are the most dangerous wild animals of safari. It consists of elephant and a leopard, a rhinoceros and a lion, then a buffalo. So each time I see a raw stone, I work with the shapes, natural shape of the raw stone. So each time I see a raw stone, I communicate with the stone. Each raw stone, when I face it in different angles, it brings so many things, so many animals in it. So it's only for me to choose. Everything I do by hand. I use a combination of tools. I use 4-pound hammers. I use punches, I use chisels, I use raspers, files. I use hand tools to make these things. and also by using hand tools, it makes me to bring out each and every detail. I don't use power tools to make these sculptures. There's no any paint applied. These are all natural colors of this stone. So the outer side of this stone is this color. So by the time I start to carve this stone, it brings this grayish color you see here. It can sustain even on bad weather, indoor or outside, because it's stone. It can go for centuries. I love nature, I love wildlife. So that's what drives me to make animals.